Welcome back to Crafting Made Simple. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you've been on TikTok lately, you've probably seen all these custom glass can wraps.
Hmm.
They're everywhere,
Yeah,
and for good reason. They're super cute,
they are.
and they're really easy to make.
So easy.
Even if you're like a total beginner crafter.
Definitely.
And guess what? Today we're diving into the world of glass can wraps, specifically focusing on projects that are super beginner friendly. That'll have you crafting like a pro in no time.
Absolutely.
We'll be using some free resources from Paperflow Design.
Right.
They have a blog post with 10 different designs you can use.
Awesome.
And you can find a link to that post and all the supplies that you'll need down in our show notes
Okay.
or over on paperflowdesigns.com. And hey, while you're at it, why not sign up for our Crafting Made Simple newsletter? We're packed with even more crafting tips and tricks and all kinds of inspiration. Okay, enough housekeeping. Let's get crafty.
Yeah. What I think is really cool about this trend is it's not just about the way it looks. It's like a way to personalize something that's like ordinary.
Oh, yeah.
Like a glass.
Right.
And turn it into like something that reflects your personality,
Right.
interests, or even your sense of humor.
That's so true. And I think that's what makes it so appealing to so many people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not just about like following a trend.
Right.
It's about creating something that's uniquely you.
Exactly.
So for those who might be new to this, can you just like break down what exactly a glass can wrap is?
Sure. A glasskin wrap is essentially like a decorative vinyl decal that's designed to fit perfectly around those trendy Libby beer can glasses. You create the design digitally, and then you cut it out with a cutting machine,
Uh-huh.
and then you apply it to your glass. It's like giving your drinkware a little mini makeover.
I love that. The new makeover for your drinks. Now, Paperflow Designs has offered 10 free designs for us to play with today. I took a peek, and I'm already obsessed with the sarcastic quotes wrap. It's like totally my vibe.
Ah, yes. Those are great. I think those would be a big hit as gifts.
Oh, for sure.
Especially for friends who like appreciate a good dose of sarcasm.
Yes.
And the retro nurse ones are really trendy right now, kind of tapping into that vintage aesthetic that's all over social media.
Okay. You're reading my mind. I was eyeing those too.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We've got like 8 more designs to explore.
Yes.
We've got butterflies, candy hearts, dog paws,
Yeah.
smiley faces.
And don't forget the daily affirmations.
Oh, yes.
Both for teachers and self-love. And then, of course, we have the classic retro daisy print for a touch of nostalgia.
See, I told you there's something for everyone. I'm curious, for our listeners out there, which design kind of jumps out at you and why?
It's like trying to pick a favorite child.
I know, right?
But if I had to choose, I think I would say the dog paws one.
Okay.
Really speaks to me. I'm a huge dog lover, and I think it would make such a cute, like, personalized gift for fellow dog parents.
Okay, that settles it. I'm making a set for all my dog-loving friends. But before we get lost in a sea of dog paws,
Okay.
let's talk about getting those designs. I know they're free,
Yeah.
but is there a catch?
Not really. Paperflow Designs makes it super easy.
Okay.
You just click the link they provide for each design, add your 10 favorites to your cart.
Wait, 10 free designs?
Yep, you read that right.
That's amazing.
10 free designs, and then proceed to checkout. You do have to create an account,
Okay.
but that also gives you a 30-day free trial to like access millions of other graphics and fonts. It's kind of like a crafting treasure chest, just waiting to be unlocked.
Okay, that's amazing. Free designs and a treasure chest of crafting goodies. I'm sold. But hold on. Before we go on a downloading spree, I have a practical question.
Okay.
These designs come as SVG files.
Right.
What exactly is an SVG file, and why is it important for this project?
That's a great question. SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. And the scalable part is really key here. Unlike a regular image file, like a JPG, an SVG file can be resized without losing any quality. So whether you want a tiny butterfly on a shot glass or a giant smiley face on a picture, your design will always look crisp and clear.
I see.
And most cutting machines, like a Cricut, they use SVG files to understand like what to cut.
Uh-huh. That makes sense. So the SVG format gives us the flexibility to adjust those designs to fit perfectly on our Libby beer can glasses.
Yeah.
Regardless of their size.
Exactly. And speaking of size, it's worth mentioning that Libby beer can glasses don't all come in one size. They actually come in like a 16 ounces or 20-ounce variation.
Okay.
So while the designs are a fantastic starting point, you'll want to measure your specific glass and then make any necessary adjustments to the design in your cutting machine software.
That's a great point. We don't want any like awkward overhangs. Or worse, designs that are too small for the glass.
Right,
So
exactly.
measure twice, cut once, as they say in the crafting world, right?
Right.
Absolutely. And speaking of cutting, before we jump into that step-by-step process, let's touch on those essential supplies that you'll need to
Okay.
bring your glass can wraps to life. We're talking vinyl sheets, transfer tape, weeding tools, the usual suspects for any kind of vinyl crafting project.
Okay, so we've got our designs, we've got our supplies,
Yeah.
and we're starting to get a handle on, like, the technical side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But before we dive into the actual crafting process,
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a moment to talk about inspiration.
Okay.
What can we actually DO with these glass can wraps?
The possibilities are truly endless. Of course, personalized gifts are a no-brainer. Think
Okay.
like birthdays, holidays, housewarmings. But you can also create custom glassware for your own home decor,
Uh-huh.
themed sets for parties, or even use them to brand your small business.
I'm already picturing a set of glasses with my dog's face on them for movie night.
That's so cute.
But you mentioned branding for small businesses. Is there actually a market for selling these?
Absolutely. The demand for personalized gifts and like unique home decor is booming, especially for handmade items. People are craving that personal touch, and a beautifully crafted glass can be a real showstopper.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued, but we'll save the business talk for later.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm itching to learn how to actually make these things. What's the best way to go about it?
Well, luckily, Paper Flu Designs provides a fantastic step-by-step guide on their blog post. It uses a method that was developed by Melissa Crafter. It's known for being super beginner-friendly, and it focuses on using parchment paper for like precise alignment.
Parchment paper.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Okay, I'm ready to get my craft on.
Right.
Shall we walk our listeners through the process?
Let's do it. We'll break down each step, sprinkle in some expert tips,
Mhm.
and hopefully inspire you to create your own glass can wrap masterpieces.
Yeah.
Toast. All right, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty of making these glass can wraps.
Okay.
So the first step, using Melissa Crafter's method, is all about prepping your design.
Okay, so we've got our SVG file downloaded. What do we do next?
So you'll want to open that file
Yeah.
in your cutting machine's software. Most folks are using a Cricut these days.
Okay.
And this is where you can resize that design to fit your specific Libby beer can glass perfectly. Remember those measurements we talked about?
Yes.
Now is the time to put them to good use.
So it's not just a matter of hitting print. We're
Yeah.
actually customizing the size for each glass.
Precisely. A snug fit is what we're aiming for.
Uh-huh.
And luckily, Cricut Design Space, which is the software that most Cricut users work with, has easy-to-use tools for resizing designs. You don't need to be like a graphic design whiz to get it right.
That's a relief. I'm more comfortable with glue sticks than graphic design software.
Yeah.
Okay. So design is sized. What's next?
Next comes the fun part. Choosing your vinyl.
Ooh, fun.
Paperflow Designs recommends using a shiny adhesive vinyl for that like sleek and professional look. But don't be afraid to experiment with different types of vinyl, like a matte or even a pattern vinyl.
Ooh, patterned vinyl. Now you're talking my language. Okay, so we picked out our vinyl. Design is ready. Time to fire up the Cricut.
Almost. So you'll need to make sure your vinyl is loaded correctly into the machine. It's a simple step, but trust me, I've made the mistake of loading it backward, and it's not pretty.
I bet.
So once that vinyl is loaded and the design is ready, we hit that magical go button and let the Cricut work its magic.
I love that feeling of anticipation while the machine is like doing its thing.
Yeah.
What should we be doing while the Cricut is busy cutting?
That is the perfect time to tackle the next step, weeding.
Reading.
It might sound like we're tending a garden, but in the crafting world, weeding means removing all that excess vinyl that we don't want in our final design.
So it's like a tiny, intricate puzzle
Hmm.
where we're peeling away the unwanted bits to reveal our, like, beautiful creation.
Exactly. And a good set of weeding tools, those fine-tipped tweezers and weeding hooks, can make all the difference,
Yeah.
especially for those intricate designs,
Mm.
and a little patience goes a long way.
Okay, I'll channel my inner Zen master for this weeding process.
Yeah.
So we've weeded our design. The Cricut is finished cutting. We're ready for the grand finale.
Almost. So we need to apply transfer tape to the top of our weeded design.
Okay.
Think of it like a giant sticker
Mm-hmm.
that helps us transfer that design to our glass can without messing it up.
Makes sense. But I'm still curious about that parchment paper method you mentioned earlier. How does that come into play?
Ah, yes, the secret weapon for perfect alignment.
Ooh, I like it.
So here's the trick.
Okay.
You place a sheet of parchment paper underneath the bottom layer of your weeded design, between the design and the transfer tape.
Okay.
And this allows you to position the design on the glass can without it like sticking permanently until you're happy with the placement.
So it's like a safety net for those of us who are like prone to crooked vinyl applications.
Precisely. You can slide the design around, adjust the angle, and make sure everything is lined up perfectly before committing.
I love it. Okay, design is perfectly positioned. What's next?
Yeah, we carefully peel away that parchment paper, leaving the design adhered to the transfer tape. Then, using a scraper tool or a squeegee, we firmly press the design onto the glass can, working from the center outwards.
Okay.
This helps avoid those pesky air bubbles
Right.
and ensures a smooth, even finish.
Okay, I'm holding my breath. Time for the big reveal.
Yes, slowly peel back that transfer tape, and voila, your perfectly applied glass can wrap is ready to shine.
I can't wait to see the look on my friends' faces when I give these to them as gifts. It's so much more personal
I know,
than
but
just buying like a generic glass.
that's the beauty of handmade gifts. They come with a story,
Yeah.
a touch of your personality,
That's right.
and that's what makes them so special.
Okay, so we've mastered like the basic technique.
Yeah,
What about those who are ready to like level up their glass can wrap game?
yeah.
Any pro tips that you can share?
Absolutely. So once you're comfortable with that process, you can experiment with layering different colors of vinyl, adding personalized text, or even incorporating other embellishments like glitter
Whoa.
or rhinestones.
Glitter and rhinestones. Now you're speaking my language. I can already see the possibilities swirling in my head. But before we get carried away with bedazzling everything in sight, I want to circle back to something that we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yay.
This idea of like turning this fun craft
Yeah.
into a side hustle.
Yeah.
Is that really feasible?
Absolutely. I think there's a real opportunity here, especially in the world of personalized gifts and unique home decor.
Yeah.
People are looking for items that stand out, that have a story behind them. And that's exactly what a handcrafted glass can wrap offers.
That makes sense. But let's be realistic. There's already a ton of stuff out there.
Yeah.
How can someone break through the noise and actually make money selling these?
That's where the deep dive comes in. So
Okay.
it's not just about making cute designs. It's about understanding your target market, creating a strong brand identity,
Right.
and mastering the art of online marketing. Think about it. What makes your glass can wraps unique? What niche are you targeting? Are you all about quirky humor, heartwarming quotes, or maybe hyper-personalized designs for pet lovers?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. It's about finding your special sauce.
Right.
That's something extra that sets you apart from the crowd.
Exactly. Once you've nailed down your niche and your brand,
Okay.
you can start thinking about pricing strategies,
Mm.
crafting eye-catching product photos, and figuring out where to sell your creations.
Okay, so where do you recommend selling these? Is it all about setting up an Etsy shop, or are there other avenues worth exploring?
Etsy is definitely a great option, especially for handmade items, but don't limit yourself.
Okay.
You can leverage social media platform like Instagram and TikTok to showcase your work,
Mm.
build a following, and even sell directly through those platforms.
So it's about using those platforms not just for inspiration, but also as potential marketplaces.
Precisely. You can create engaging content that highlights your process, your designs, and your brand personality. And don't forget the power of local craft fairs and markets.
Oh, yeah.
There's something really special about connecting with those customers face to face and letting them experience that craftsmanship firsthand.
You've given us so much to think about. But I think it's important to acknowledge that, starting a business, even a small side hustle, can feel really overwhelming for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Any advice for those who are feeling a little bit intimidated by it all?
Start small. Be patient.
Right.
And don't be afraid to experiment. You don't need to have everything figured out from day one.
Right.
Treat it as a learning experience, a journey of discovery. And most importantly, remember to have fun.
Yes.
If you're not enjoying the process, it's going to show in your work.
That's such great advice. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle
Yeah.
and forget to enjoy the creative process. So to recap, we've explored this world of glass can wraps, from choosing the cutest beginner-friendly designs to mastering the application techniques, even dipping our toes into the entrepreneurial waters of it all. It's been quite a journey.
It has. And before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
Don't underestimate the power of community. Whether it's online or in person, connecting with other crafters can be incredibly inspiring and supportive.
I love that. Sharing your passion with others,
Yeah.
learning from their experiences, and celebrating each other's successes. It's what makes the crafting world so special.
Absolutely. So go forth, create beautiful things,
Yeah.
And don't forget to share your journey with the world.
And if you're looking for a place to connect with other crafting enthusiasts, be sure to sign up for our Crafting Made Simple newsletter. We've got a really vibrant community of crafters who are always so eager to share tips and inspiration and a whole lot of creative energy. You can find the sign-up link down in our show notes.
Until next time, happy crafting, everyone.